Hey crafty people! Welcome back to my channel, and in case you're new here, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. I do paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, and mixed media art. Let's get crafting! So, as you may know, I use Amazon packaging for a lot of my junk journal covers, and I always have bits left over. And I've been setting them aside to make some squishy tags. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make some fabric covered squishy tags. And before I pull out the fabric, what I want to do is cut them into tag shapes. Now, I've prepped these pieces best I can to get them into straight-ish pieces. They're not perfect, but that's okay. It's a junk journal, or they're going to go in a junk journal, so they don't need to be perfect. So I'm going to use my little tag template to cut a tag shape off of all of these guys. Don't worry, I'm not doing this entire stack on screen because that would take forever. But I'm going to use my little template, cut them into a tag shape. Wow, did I use the wrong one? I think I may have used the wrong one on that side. Whoopsies. All right, let's use the bigger one to get it a little less wonky. That's a bit, that does not look. All right, I think what I'm gonna do is fold it in half and use it because yeah, it's looking like way off from each other. There we go, sort of. Wow. Don't know if it's, that's like why is that so not even close? All right. Oh, that is, all right. We're going to leave that one. We're going to try this again. What I'm going to do is fold the thing in half and take a corner off and hope for the best. That worked much better. All right, that's how we're going to do the rest of them. We're just going to fold them in half and nip off the corners to give us kind of a tag shape. And I've got a dog barking, and this is probably a good spot to stop and go grab fabric and let a dog in, and we'll cover these with fabric and move along. Okay, so I've got all of them cut into tag shapes, and I've pulled out some fabrics. And these are some scraps these are the Holtz fabrics, and I don't know if the other project I was using these on will have aired before or after this one. We'll see what gets done first. So you may or may not have seen this fabric before in a project recently, but we shall see. So let's go ahead and start wrapping our tags in our fabric. And what I'm going to do is first I'm going to take off this strip because it's more than we need for wrapping this piece. Yes, no, this one is directional, so I need to make sure top is top. And what we're gonna do is put a little glue down the center just to kind of glue the sucker into place. Then I'm going to cut a little bit of the fabric off at the corners because there's a lot more there than what we need. And over here, and we are going to start by adding glue here. Fold it over on the corner. I'm going to do the same over here. on this side. Come on, grab it. And there. Now we're gonna fold these guys over. There's what the front looks like. And what I'm gonna do once I cover everybody is back them with some coffee dyed paper, so that you could theoretically write on it, although it will be squishy writing. But yeah, that's what I figured would be the backing for these tags. So let's do another one. And I was just figuring I can probably get out of this scrap 2, if I do as small a tag as possible. I think it might just work. It's gonna be a snug fit, but we're gonna try it. And actually, you know what I can do is take my scissors and trim a little off this, because that does not look very straight. And maybe take another sliver off the bottom of this to make it a little shorter, so we can get them both to fit on this one piece of paper or fabric. Again, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in the center and glue it down. Same over here. And I'm putting the plain side down just in case you can see the Amazon packaging through the fabric, because sometimes you can if the fabric's too thin, although I think this fabric's pretty good at not having that happen. All right, I think we just got enough, and I think I may scooch this over a bit, because then I can have a bigger scrap over here to use for something else. And we're going to do the same process. All right, so you get the idea. I've got a few more that I want to cover, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back and we'll cover the backs with some coffee dyed paper. Okay, so I've grabbed some coffee dyed paper, and I am just going to take the tags that we covered with fabric and glue them on. And I think I'm just going to use art glitter glue for this. I'm getting to the point where I may need to refill my art glitter glue bottle. It's getting harder and harder to squeeze. I'm gonna go ahead and trim it out as we go. I think that'll be a little easier. Just be careful not to cut your fabric. What I think I'm gonna do is stick this under something to like weigh it down so that the glue has time to, you know, adhere our tag to our coffee dyed paper. Gonna trim a little more off over here. Add a little more glue in a few spots just to make sure it's glued down well. And I'm gonna go stick it under a book. So I'm pretty much gonna do that process with all of the pieces we covered, which seem to be missing. Ah, here we go. And now I can't remember if I did the green stripe or the black check on camera. I think it might have been the black check. So yeah, we're just gonna attach some coffee dyed paper to the backs of all of these guys. And then once the glue's had a chance to dry, I'm gonna take everything over to my sewing machine and go around and stitch it. Now you don't have to do that. I just think for this project, that is a detail I would like to have on the tags. And then once I'm done doing that, we'll come back and decorate some of these guys up so that they'll be finished pieces ready to go in a journal. And again, I'm just after cutting it out, going around to make sure there's plenty of glue on the edges. So I'm gonna go finish this up and hit my sewing machine, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've finished stitching around all of the pieces that I covered, and I've pulled out some stuff for decorating. And so let's go ahead and start with this one. And you know what? I need to grab my Copic markers because I want to color this little cutie and give her Christmassy butterfly wings. And this is a Digital by Digital Art House. I'll leave a link down below. And I printed it on transparency sheet so that we'd have some transparent wings for this little cutie. So that's gonna go like that. And then she's a Tim Holtz person. This is from one of the Tim Holtz ephemera packs. So let's set her standing on there and there. And I think I want some more clustery bits to go over here. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Come on. that, and I like that. I want to add color to her. Let me grab some markers. Move that over, and I'm gonna go over her jacket with green, and it's just gonna give it a greenish tint since it's a, you know, we're going over gray. And I'm gonna do red for the flower in her hair and her buttons. You know what the heck, let's do her stockings. All right, I'm gonna start by gluing the wings onto her. And I'm gonna use my art glitter glue. And yes, when I fussy cut these butterflies out, because I knew I was doing them for being wings with people, I cut their heads off. Because it was just gonna be easier fussy cutting that way. All right, let's give that a minute to dry, and let's come over here, and I think I want to ink some edges. And you know what? Since this fabric's got the sellotape, let's get some alcohol inked tape over here and add some of that to this piece. All right, let's start by inking. I'm gonna ink browns, I think, for these guys. Gonna kind of add some creases and ink those, and maybe rough our edges a little bit. Let's crunch this up a bit. And yes, I know I'm gonna need to come back in and ink again, but sometimes I decide things as we're going along. And do that. Ink that and add a piece of, I think I'm gonna go green. That on to tape the rip we put in. I feel like since we grunge that a little, we'll grunge the other pieces as well. All right, let's bring our cutie back over. She's going there. I want her standing on the special delivery, but I want it not to cover up the stitching. So we'll do that, that, that. I feel like it needs one more thing. And this came out of the packaging, so we're gonna stick that on as well. And I want to stamp something on it. Let me see what I got. And the stamps I'm using are from a stamp set by Crafty by Tony. I'll leave a link to her Etsy shop, but she is, you know, a small independent creator. Like, she has a YouTube channel, so I don't know what she has of her Christmas release currently in stock, but I'll leave a link to her shop down below because I'm sure you can like follow the shop and then you'll get updates when she does a restock. All right, let's start gluing stuff together. So let's glue the ticket on to her. Do that. And gonna lift that up a little bit. Put the glue on here. That goes there. That goes there. That goes like so. Now I think I'm going to pull in my Fabri-Tac just because it's going to stick better. And I'm not going to bother gluing down the wings. I like that. All right, let's, you know what, actually I do want to add a little bit more of the inked tape in a couple spots. I use like sticker paper, but I definitely find on occasion my tape tends to not want to release from the sticker paper. I'm gonna do a piece here. And one there. All right, that one's done. Let's pull this one over. This is, I don't know if, I can't remember if this was from a Tim Holtz pack or a 49 Market, because I've got both packs out and have been pulling stuff from them. So I think this might be a Tim Holtz one. This is a ticket. I stamped it using stamps by Crafty by Tony, and that one are Tim Holtz stamps, and the background I think is a Tim Holtz. Crafty by Tony stamps, Tim Holtz Sizzix vintage labels that I cut out during the Bits and Bobs video that I did recently, and I actually want to do a little bit of inking just to darken that green a little bit. I'm gonna grab a scrap piece of paper, some Rustic Wilderness ink, my brush, and just, whoo, that was a little bit more than I wanted to. Let's see if we can place that so that section's the part that's covered by something. All right, so it was that, 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 and I have somewhere something I think that's supposed to go across there. Thought I had something that went across there. Yes, I did. This is also a Crafty by Tony. All right, I want to rough this one up. And I'm just kind of crumpling it up and then uncrumpling and going in and inking the crumply bits because that then brings them out so you can see them more. Let's go ahead and do this one too, because definitely too clean right now with the other piece. Don't know that I want to crinkle the Merry and Bright, but I think I want to grab splatter stamp and stamp some splatter on here. Don't know what ink was on there, but there we go. I think that works. Now let's glue everything down. Ooh, and I'm gonna ink edges on this. Maybe I should do some crumpling just so it matches everybody else. And I'm just using a vintage photo for this. All right, so we've got our Admit 1 ticket. That's gonna go there. I think I'm gonna stick that behind and like that. Yeah, kind of like that. Let's use our art glitter glue and glue that bit down. Bring this piece back in. Because again, I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac to glue the whole thing down, just because we're gluing on fabric and it'll be a little bit easier. I am going to glue the banner on just the stalk like that. Like so. We're going to scoot it up so that my stitching still shows. And add that bit right about there. All right. All right. Let's glue that one down all the way, and let's glue our flower piece to the paper part. All right. Yep, like that. Let's go ahead and glue that down. All right, we're gonna set that one aside. I've got another cutie patootie with butterfly wings. Seem to have misplaced the red marker. I had it. I think my desk might have eaten it. Scissors. Ah, there it is. Because I really think... Wait, no, actually, let's go green for the fluff and then red for her hat. Just trying to blend out the streaks, and I think I just made it worse. Yeah, I'm gonna stop now. And then our hair, or her hat, we're gonna do red. It's the one thing you've got to be careful about with the Copic markers on the Tim Holtz people is you can't really blend. So you just got to be careful about your streaks. Let's give her butterfly wings. So let's glue the wings onto her. And I had, do Mary and have her stand on it. And I think I'm going to keep this one kind of plain. I do want to ink my edges, and I want to ink them in red, I think. Just to break up that red, because I'm not loving it. So I just have to have a bit of a think about what I might have that would work on her hat, because yeah, I'm not loving how her hat is looking right now. I like that a bit better. So these are laser cut elements by 49 in Market, and I think they're from this year's set. I don't know, I have so much stuff that I'm really making an effort at using. Because it does you no good to buy the stuff and not use it. Yeah, I like that better. And I think I want a topper for this, but I'm gonna have to go dig something out for that. So we'll come back to that. Let's see, I got this guy. Okay, so another piece from an ephemera pack by Tim Holtz. I'm gonna tear a little bit off of this music paper. Let's ink the edges on it. This is one of the Tim Holtz Sizzix vintage labels that I did when I was making bits and bobs recently. This is stamped by Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous. I don't remember which set it's from. It's just part of my stamped bits and bobs. This is from Tim Holtz Idea-ology ephemera pack. Mostly I just want to get the height correct. We're just gonna guess that that's right. That, and then felt it needed something else going this way. So we've got this piece, which is Crafty by Tony stamp, and I am going to ink the edges, and I think I want to go green. So we're going to ink those edges. And glue everything together. All right, so that's going there. That's gonna go like so. All right, I am gonna glue that one's done. Pull over this one. Now this one, I think I've got a mix of Tim Holtz and whatchamacallit, 49 in Market bits. And I think I want to keep this pretty simple and just do that. And maybe put a topper on. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna glue this stuff down and keep it simple, because I also really like the fabrics on these, so why not let the fabric shine through? And actually, I'm like looking at this little guy sitting up there, and I'm like, maybe he can go in on the bottom. And yeah, I kind of like that. All right, we're just gonna glue that down. Look at that, quick and easy. Yeah, I think I still have like 2 that I haven't pulled decorations out for, and I think I may just leave until I figure out what I want to do with them. All right, so this one is, that's definitely, I know, is 49 in Market, and I'm just gonna trim off the excess leaves on this side so that it can go across like that, because it says Jingle Bells, so I'm like, I need Jingle Bells. And this is a tag I made using, I'm thinking about tossing those on there somewhere. We'll hold on to those for a second. All right, let's ink the edges on this. Stamps by Crafty by Tony. So we're gonna do that. So the bell and the holly leaf lines up. Let's go ahead and glue that on. And then that's gonna go back there. Again, another one of those labels I made when I was making bits and bobs. That's gonna go right there. Now, here's a question. Do I want to add the piece that I cut off? Like there? Kind of thinking I might want to squish it up under so it looks like, hey, why not? And of course, I've got a dog who's just wandered into the room and is going to want to go out here in a sec, but he's going to wait because we've got one last one to do. And so I've got some coffee dye doily, another label, and these branch stem pieces are from 49 in Market. And I feel like I want to grab that, and I want to stamp something on here real quick. Let's find something real quick I can stamp on there. This should fit, yes? Yes, okay. I'm gonna use the squishiness of that and stamp it in green using VersaFine Clair. That worked pretty good. Ink our edges. All right, let's glue our branch to our doily. And then add our berries. These are super delicate stalks. That goes there. I think I may go the label there. And our little heart-shaped button. Like so. Yep, I think I like that. All right, let's go ahead and glue this down with Fabri-Tac. There we go. All right, I'm gonna go let a dog out and find some stuff to serve as toppers for a few of these that I think could use a topper, and I'll be right back. Okay, I raided my stash, and this is some ribbon that I have, and I'm just gonna glue it on. And I think for this one, I wanna put something up there to cover that. So let's shift, glue. And I'm gonna set that one aside, let that glue dry, pull the next one over. So we're gonna kind of assembly line, because by the time we get through the front side of everybody, the glue should be dry so we can move on to the back side, if that makes any sense. So let's put some glue right there. Add this. And this is ribbon. Both of these ribbons are from, Michaels has started doing those like variety pack things, or at least they did last year, of like red and green ribbon, and I think they had some pastels. So that's what that's from. All right, this is a ruffle that I made using some fabric from my stash. So I'm just gonna, you know what, let's start by just gluing the front piece down. Leave that like so. And another ruffle that I made, so let's just glue that on. Set that aside and start back with this one. And yeah, that's glued on pretty good. All right, let's do the other side. Like this, we need to trim. Put a little glue on the stitches so that they don't come out, and then some glue here, and glue that down. And set that one aside, and the same with this last one. And then I just want to bring this one back. I feel like that's kind of messy and needs something to cover it up. Yep, I think that's gonna work. So let's glue that on. Okay, so let's see what we did. So we've got this guy, and that one, and that one, and that one, and this guy, and then the two little journaling card ones. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting.